Be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Deputy Treasurer Ashley Demmett.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the unlikely event of a fire or other emergency, if we ask to leave the building, please exit through the exit door, down the stairs, and out the front and back of the building. Would the Deputy Treasurer please call the roll?
Mayor Schroeder.
Here.
Trustee Malone Schaefer. Here. Trustee Miller. Here. Trustee O'Brien.
Here.
And Trustee Michaely.
Here. Minutes of the meeting dated September 22nd. We'll need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
The motion by Trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by Trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Abstract of audited vouchers, please.
Here we are. I'd like to make a motion that the treasurer be authorized to pay from the vouchers all the claims against the general sewer trust, capital, equipment reserve, community development, and special repair reserve funds for the period of September 23rd, 2025 to October 13th, 2025. Further, that the report of the Finance Committee be accepted from the abstract of the audited vouchers, that all claims were paid against the general fund in the amount of $190,393.37, sewer fund in the amount of $6,720.10, trust fund in the amount of $1,950.12, capital fund in the amount of $80, for a total of $199,143.59 for the period from September 9th, 2025 to September 22nd, 2025.
We have a motion by Trustee Miller,
Second.
second by Trustee Michaely to approve. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Listed correspondence, we have three pieces this evening, beginning with the correspondence from the Town of Lancaster Building Department, providing a report of building permit applications, open complaints, inspections, and expired permits that were filed for properties within the Village of Lancaster from September 12th, 2025 to October 2nd, 2025.
Motion to receive and file?
We have a motion to receive and file by Trustee O'Brien,
Second.
second by Trustee Malone Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Second piece of correspondence is from the Lancaster High School Motorcade Committee requesting permission for its annual Spirit Week motorcade to travel to the Village of Lancaster on the evening of Friday, October 24th, 2025.
Motion to approve?
The motion by Trustee Michaely,
Second.
second by Trustee Miller to approve. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Third correspondence is from the Department of Public Works requesting approval to purchase a V-plow for an existing pickup truck from Kaminsky and Sons Truck Equipment in the amount of $7,700 from a county bid contract at the lowest of two quotes for this item.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Trustee Miller,
Second.
second by Trustee O'Brien to approve. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. All right, we have two resolutions here this evening. First resolution is to adopt a standard workday and reporting resolution as presented for the following elected official as required by New York State and local retirement system, and that is for Trustee O'Brien.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion by Trustee Michaely,
Second.
second by Trustee Miller to approve. Under the question,
I will abstain.
with one extension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Second resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and approve an agreement with Russell J. Salvatore related to a sponsorship for the construction of the Village of Lancaster Cayuga Creek Park Pavilion.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Trustee Miller,
Second.
second by Trustee O'Brien. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Third resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign and certify the MS4 interim progress report, 18-month requirements as prepared by William Shutt and Associates as the village engineer and stormwater program coordinator.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Trustee Miller,
Second.
second by Trustee Michaely. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Fourth resolution is authorizing myself as mayor to sign, approve, and submit the Erie County 2025-2028 intermunicipal snow removal and ice control agreement as presented along with the required supplementary documentation.
Motion to approve.
A motion by trustee Miller,
Second.
second by trustee Nolan Schaefer. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. I'm going to add a resolution to this. I'd like to reschedule the local SAP referendum vote to December 9th, 2025, from 12 to 9 p.m. In support of the Firemen's Service Award Program upgrade.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by myself and a second by trustee O'Brien. Under the question,
Abstain from any vote.
I have one abstention by trustee Mullen Schaefer.
May I just ask why?
For personal reasons.
If it's related to Tim, he's out of the village, he can't rejoin because he's on the other side of Transit Road, so he doesn't collect.
I am abstaining for personal reasons.
Okay, we have one abstention. So a motion and a second. Under the question, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And if you'd like me to run a form, just let me know. I'll be more than.
Well, the newsletter is due next week. So you said you would write an article for the newsletter?
Yes.
It's due Friday, right?
Okay.
Is that right, Ashley, Friday?
Yeah, next Friday.
Next
Yeah.
Friday.
Greg, do you want to work with Ashley? She pretty much puts together the newsletter. She's a part of that. And
Good luck.
Okay,
Thank you very
sounds
much.
good.
Thanks,
Mark.
thank you so much.
You're welcome, Greg. Thank you. Audience participation. This is a portion of the meeting that we reserve for anyone in the audience who would like to address the village board. All we ask you to please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, and tell us what's on your mind. Doesn't look as though we have anybody for that. All right, we'll move right into committee reports. And we'll begin with finance and claims.
So we met as a committee to discuss bidding out for engineering consultant services as required by our village procurement policy. Included in the board packet is a RFQ. I just asked the board members to take some time to look it over and review it, and we can discuss it further at a later meeting. That's it.
Okay, anything for finance and claims? All right, we'll go to Public Works, Chairman Mickley.
The guys always stay busy. We finished one season with events and everything else, and leaf pickup is going on right now. Brush pickup continues. I know it does continue, but as I said in the work session, I just want to thank Superintendent Cisco and his guys for certain projects that they do that save the village money that we never really would know about. For instance, there was sewer work they did in this building this month that saved us probably close to $20,000. There was some damage done to Cuyahoga Creek Park that they're going to fix themselves that saved us a lot of money too. So it's an ongoing effort and ongoing savings that we have from the crew. So, thank you.
And just to echo trustee Mickley, we have a very talented crew in the Public Works Department, and I haven't seen a job yet that they said, no, we can't do it, and tried to punt it off. At the very least, they'll evaluate it, and they'll say, well, this is what we can do, and I've never had a refusal yet, and I'm very proud of our Public Works Department. Wayne, please pass our feelings along to
Thank you
the
very much.
department. You have a good crew. Public safety, myself, again, I brought up in the work session, I'm working with Supervisor Leary on a e-bike law, and eventually we'll end up getting Art in to tweak this law, and then once we have a draft and things, but e-bikes are becoming more and more of a nuisance. The state doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot to step in, and so I think local ordinances will probably be a potential answer for that anyway, or at least we can say we tried. So I'm working with them. The traffic safety concerns at Broadway and the Aurora corridor are still being evaluated by the New York State DOT. And I did have a request today about Walden and Central and the line markings going north, because on the right-hand side, it's really not a right lane, it's a bike lane, but it is, and somebody asked me if we could look into redoing that, but I believe that's DOT, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I'll contact somebody at DOT and see if they want to tackle that project. And other than that, that's all I have. Building lights and codes, Chairman Mickley.
Thank you. We have the building condition assessment report. We had an RFP out that was put out several weeks ago. We had several firms reply. Proposals will due back this Friday at 2 p.m. After that, we've put together a committee of 6 people who review the reports. We have a checklist on how to judge them, and the best we can do, that the committee can do, will be to put together recommendations to this board as far as how to go forward, if we do at all, of which of the proposals to accept. So we'll have more on that in the next few weeks. We have 2 public hearings tonight, right? 7:15 and 7:20. At 7:20 is the public hearing to adopt the local law for battery energy storage systems. And then I will also send you some information, as I mentioned it's been mentioned previously, mentioned in the work session, that we have to make some very minor revisions to the chapter the code has to do with amusement arcades, which is some old language in there that needs to be changed. So probably next meeting, I'll ask that we send a public hearing 2 weeks in the future to change that one.
Okay. Anything for building lights and codes? Not human resources?
Human Resources, I'd like to make a motion this evening as we see the end of 2 of our summer employees come to a close the end of November. I would like to make a motion this evening that we open up a position, part-time, not to exceed 19 hours a week, beginning approximately December 1st, Monday, running through approximately May 29th, no longer than 6 months. Again, no more than 19 hours a week at a pay rate of $17 an hour for a part-time labor position in the DPW.
We have a motion?
Second.
And we have a second by trustee Mickley. Under the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Ashley, if we could make a posting, today's the 14th, maybe if we could have one by the beginning of next week, maybe like the 20th, and have it run through the end of October, then through the 31st. So then we can maybe gather all the applications and whatnot that first, second week in November, and we can move from there, so.
Okay.
Other than that, we're just looking at the end of summer employment for 2 of our part-time laborers that had stayed on. And then on October 23rd, myself, Mike, we're meeting with Colleen from our HR company that we contract with in regards to an employee handbook. My thanks to the previous board and trustee Maciaski for taking this as far as she had, and then just continuing with it to see it come about. That's all I have for Human Resources.
Okay, anything for human resources? All right, we've got about 2 minutes for our first public hearing.
I can make community events quick.
Community events, you're on.
All right, community events. Number 1, I think we have a Christmas tree coming up possibly, but any other interest, please contact the DPW. Christmas tree lighting on November 28th. Fire truck parade on the 29th. New Year's Eve coming up on December 31st. I'd like to make a motion real quick here. Last thing I have is February 9th at 5:30 before our work session to review our events application with feedback from code enforcement, fire, police, whatnot for a possible revision. So I'd like to make that motion for February 9th at 5:30.
We have a motion by trustee Malone Schaefer.
Second.
Second by trustee Miller. Meeting on February 9th, 2025 at 5:30. Under the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
That's all I got.
All right, we're going to interrupt. We have 2 public hearings this evening, and I'll begin with reading the notice that was published in the official village paper. Please take notice that the Board of Trustees passed a resolution at their September 8th, 2025 village board meeting to conduct a public hearing in the council chambers of the Lancaster Municipal Building, 5423 Broadway, Lancaster, New York, on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m. regarding the use of federal community development funds in the Village of Lancaster. The Village of Lancaster is eligible for a federal community development grant under Title I of the Housing and Community Development Act of 1974 as amended. The purpose of this hearing is to provide an opportunity for citizens to express community development and housing needs and to discuss possible projects which would benefit low and moderate income persons in the Village of Lancaster. Citizens are urged to attend this meeting and make known their views and/or written proposals on the Village of Lancaster's selection of potential projects to be submitted for possible funding by the Federal Community Development Grant Program. The hearing will also present a review of prior community development projects and expenditures and a discussion of eligible activities. The meeting room is wheelchair accessible. Those needing special arrangements should call the village clerk's office by Wednesday, October 8th. Michael E. Stegmeyer, village clerk. Is there anyone who would like to address the village board on community development issues? I'll ask another time. Would anybody like to address the board on these issues? I'll ask a third time. Is there anyone who would like to address the board on these issues? Any comments from the board?
I could read a note that I received from a resident about the project.
Sure.
That's okay? Okay. So a village resident, Leslie Gibson, sent me an email, and she said, "I wanted to share my support for the proposed splash pad project. I think adding splash pad would be a wonderful addition to our community, especially near the village center. It would give families with young children, like mine, a safe, fun, and local place to play and cool down during the hot summer months. This would also be within walking distance for us, and many others, making it ideal. We already have an excellent school district that draws new families to the area, and adding new projects like this would really add to the appeal of the village. It would be something that makes our community even more family-friendly and inviting. I truly think it would bring a lot of joy and energy to the heart of the village." Well, that was some feedback that I received.
Hey, and that is the only feedback we have. Any comments from the board?
You want to close the public portion of the hearing, or?
We can do it, all right.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Miller to close the public portion of the meeting. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
So I know in the notice, it talks about reviewing past projects. So I'll just, the last couple, back in 2020, the village was awarded $95,000 to build the outdoor fitness center at the North End Fire Hall, so next to where the location for the splash pad will be. And then in 2023, the village was awarded $150,000, which is the same amount as this grant, for the Aurora Street pedestrian improvements, the crosswalks over there on Aurora Street near the Youth Bureau. The award this year that we are applying for is at $150,000 for the splash pad at the North End Fire Hall. I think it really aligns with some of the goals that we set for ourselves as the village with our climate resilience plan. One of the things that we identified in that area of the village is that there's not really a space for people to cool off on those hot 90-degree plus summer days that we're getting more and more often. This particular splash pad operates via water pressure, so even if the power's out, the kids can go out there and they can cool off. It's set up into different zones, so you can bring your family of all ages to play, and the younger kids can stay where it's more moderate, whereas the older kids can play where the water pressure is a bit higher and there's buckets dumping on them and that sort of thing. As this part of this project, we're taking the basketball court that exists there, which is a full court, and we're going to reduce it by half. In conversations with the police and other people in the area, that court is never used as a full court. People who want to play full court basketball generally go to Keysa Park. They've got the nicer courts down there. So by taking this court and making it a half court, we're taking unused space and we're finding a new use for it. And that use will benefit the people in those neighborhoods. I think it's a good project. I think that, splash pads bring people out. On those days, the park, which often is, there's nobody there, maybe except for some teenagers sitting on top of the picnic tables. I think you'll see less of those and more families enjoying the park.
Any other comments?
Good job. Thanks.
Need a motion to close the public hearing?
Well, we already closed the public portion. I could do the motion to authorize you to sign the grant, right?
Okay, we have a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the grant application.
Second.
And a second by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you.
And now, we're a couple minutes late here, but we have our second public hearing this evening. I'll read the notice as of published in our official paper. Please take notice that the Village of Lancaster Board of Trustees will conduct a public hearing in the council chambers of the Lancaster Municipal Building, 5423 Broadway, Lancaster, New York, on Tuesday, October 14, 2025, at 7:20 p.m. to consider a local law which, if adopted, would add Chapter 95, Battery Energy Storage Systems, to the Code of the Village of Lancaster and would revise Section 350-55 of Chapter 350 zoning to accommodate the added Chapter 95. The Battery Energy Storage System, Chapter 95, would be adopted to provide a regular scheme for the designation of property suitable for the location, construction, and operation of battery energy storage systems, to ensure compatible land uses in the vicinity of the areas affected by battery energy storage systems, to mitigate the impacts of battery energy storage systems on environmental resources such as agricultural lands, forests, wildlife, and other protected resources, and to create synergy between battery energy storage system development and other stated goals of the Village of Lancaster pursuant to its comprehensive plan. The full text of the proposed local law may be reviewed at the Village of Lancaster website, lancastervillagenewyork.gov, or during office hours at the office of the Village of Lancaster Clerk, Lancaster Municipal Building, 5423 Broadway, Lancaster, New York. At said hearing, all persons so desiring shall have the opportunity to be heard. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this topic? State your name and address for the record, please.
Jacob Miller, 267 Lake Avenue.
Yes.
What's the summary of this plan, like in simple terms for everyone watching the live stream? What are the changes that are proposed?
It's an entirely new law. There was nothing on the books for battery
All right.
energy storage systems.
All right, and would this be restricting how they can be installed?
Yes.
All right. And is it where they can be placed? And why is that, why would that be necessary?
Have you read the proposed law?
I have not.
Okay. It's all in the proposed law, which is available. All of your questions are there.
Mr. Miller, it does say, it does provide regulations as to the size of the battery. Like, batteries up to a certain size have certain restrictions about where they can be placed. Bigger than that have different restrictions, Actually, the smaller size ones have no restrictions, other than as long as they're done safely. Larger batteries have to have placement in certain zoned areas with the correct facilities to support them safely.
Right.
It's about making sure that if someone wants to come into this village and install one of these facilities, that they're doing it with the safety of the residents and the village in mind, and also in an environmentally conscious way, and also in ways that are going to protect our firefighters
All right.
who would have to show up if something happens.
So I'll just say that as the grid is becoming less reliable, battery storage is one of the most scalable ways to mitigate downtime and other issues. And that the more you regulate it, the more the costs are going to go up. And right now, it needs to be a viable competitor to less clean sources.
And I've read the law, and I don't feel that we're not asking too much. We're not asking too much. Trust me, if I thought, I agree with you. I think this is the way forward. This is a way to prevent, downtime on the grid, to make sure that we are using our energy more efficiently. And if I thought that this prevented that, then I wouldn't be in favor of moving forward with it, but I am in favor of it.
All right, and is this modeled after how another town does theirs, or have you looked at how other villages are regulating this stuff?
It's modeled after the state, and NYSERDA, which is part of the state, had a model law. This was based on that. We were able to take that, I say we, I mean Art. Art was able to take that, model that, fashion it into our own code. So the great majority of what we're proposing is based on the NYSERDA law, which is being passed almost verbatim in probably most towns and villages throughout the state.
All right, thank you.
And I'll just add, NYSERDA is in favor of clean energy and promoting, smart energy choices.
So it's because of that, one more thing, it's because of everything that you said and Trustee O'Brien said, that this is necessary, because right now there's no code at all to allow it.
Well, would codes as far as other, like electrical regulations and everything apply? Like as far as when you connect anything to your house or your property?
It won't. Yeah,
Right.
that's not, that wouldn't be. So if you want to, that would not be part of this.
All right, so it's not, I mean, I would just think it wouldn't be any different than plugging in anything that would feed into your house.
If you read the code, it would show everything that, it would explain.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Okay, thank you, Jacob. No other comments? Need a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by trustee O'Brien,
Second.
by trustee Miller. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried. And I believe we can vote to
Sure.
approve this
I'd like to,
law.
first of all, I'd like to thank Art, as I said, there was a lot of work involved in taking this model law and crafting it into what fits within our code. Was also, this proposed law was also shared with the zoning board, the historic commission, I believe, the planning commission, and everyone signed off on it with some changes, some recommended changes. So having said all that, I would like to make a motion that we adopt the law as presented.
We have a motion by trustee Mickley,
Second.
second by trustee O'Brien. Under the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. We'll need a motion to close.
Motion to close the meeting? Oh, we did already.
No, all right, yeah.
Motion to close the public.
Oh, yeah, just
More to come.
a little bit more to come. Okay, and we'll get back to, I think we're on committee reports. And
Economic development, I think, was next, right?
Yeah, after community events, we're good.
economic development, I have nothing at this point this evening. Sewer, Chairman Mickley.
No report this evening.
No report. Grants, Chairman O'Brien.
We met last week to review the potential future zoning map of the village. There were some inconsistencies with the map provided to us and what we had in mind. So we got together and we got that ironed out. Final edits to the comp plan were due last Friday. So now Labella, our engineering firm, is working with us on this. They are finalizing the plan to make it ready for review by the full board and the public. I've been working with Amy Stippa and Bill Schutt's office to clean up the bid package for the Central Avenue Mobility Hub, or no, I'm sorry, this is not the Central Avenue one. This is the Cable Creek Park fast chargers. So there was just some tweaks that had to be made to the language in the bid package. So we're going to get that finalized and hopefully in front of the board to look at quite quickly. We met with the design team for the Pocket Park to review a couple of design proposals that they provided. I sent those out to a bunch of different people and organizations, and I received feedbacks from the fire department, which I really appreciate, the HPC, beautification, folks in Mike's office reached out because will be there right next to the park. I compiled that feedback into like a summary and provided it to Labella for them to incorporate. I do appreciate everyone who took the time to look over the designs and write some notes. And I think I replied to everyone who did, so I really appreciate that. It's a park that should be enjoyed by everybody, so everybody should be involved in making it something special. With the TAP grant for Central Avenue that Code Enforcement Officer Fichione mentioned earlier, we're continuing the right-of-way analysis for this. We have a meeting with DOT later this week to kind of, I suppose, get our next steps forward for rectifying those. I did reach out to NFTA about moving the bus stop by the roundabout here on Central Avenue to where the mobility hub will be. I haven't heard back yet, but I will continue following up with them just to get that process, to understand the process. I don't want to wait too long and then have to rush to get it done. I'd rather have the conversation now and then have time to make sure it's done right. We had our public hearing today for CDBG. Thank you, everyone. You've all been involved in the process for looking at the designs, coming up with ideas. I think this has truly been a board, effort to get this splash pad to this step. Amy Stippa has been working on the application. It is just about ready. It's not due until November 3rd. Ideally, we have the final pieces in place that we can send it for like a kind of preliminary review. And then hopefully we get it. One final thing on grants. We received information about a technical assistance grant from HCR. This grant is for pro-housing communities like ours to look at data, essentially to analyze data about our community, our housing limitations, our opportunities. So I've been working with Amy and Mike to come up with an application for this grant. I've actually reached out to our partners at Labella to kind of work with them because they've been helping us with the comp plan. It just makes sense for them to have input on this and help us create essentially a proposal. So I talked to Mayor Schroeder about this earlier today, and he said, go for it. So they're working on kind of a one-page, paragraph that we can submit with the application to hopefully just get us more information that we can use as a board when we're making decisions about things like zoning and development in the future. Initially that was due the end of October, but they extended the date. Now it's actually due the end of next month. So will be an ongoing process for a little bit. And that's it for grants.
Okay. And that should take care of, let's see, tech and marketing.
Just real
Chairman
quick,
Miller?
spoke to John Pilato regarding the GIS plan. He mentioned that they were having a hard time filling that spot, as it does take a special skill set. So we are going to meet again just to sort of go over if we could work together to either find someone or if we should break off and the village should have their own. But we just started talking about that, so it's going to be a bit, hopefully I'll have some updates in a couple weeks, and that's all I have.
Okay, anything for Trustee Miller? Not Climate Smart, Chairman O'Brien.
178 trees planted by the DPW in 7 days. Not too bad, not too bad. Our USDA Forest Service tree planting is completed for the year. And thank you to the folks at the DPW that got those trees in the ground. Thank you to Amy Stippa, who, organizes all of this and makes sure all the communications go out, reaches out to residents, hears back from residents, and deals with all that. It's really appreciated. We had our public hearing on the model law today. That was in my committee as well. I'm going to ask Ashley to remove that from the energy projects from my committee because that's been passed. And I believe that is it for Climate Smart.
Okay. Nothing else under committees. Department head reports, being the Superintendent of Public Works, Wayne Cisco.
Just to start that, leaves are starting to be picking up, so they're getting pretty plentiful. So we have a couple of trucks out now instead of one. The sewers, we have the smoke testing and dye testing going on this week on Broadway to Ivy Way. So if any residents see smoke, there's a reason because we're doing some smoke testing in that area. Next couple of weeks, Christmasville will be getting started. And the speakers will be put up in the next 2 weeks on West Main. So the wiring is being done this week, and then we're waiting on the speakers to come in. So hopefully we'll have them right before the holiday season. And then the plants will start to be cleaned up and put away. We're going to start with the hanging baskets, and then we'll leave the lower ones for a little while because they still look pretty good. And that's it for now.
No, very good. Anything for the superintendent? No. Deputy Treasurer Ashley.
As I stated before, newsletter articles will be due by next Friday, I think October 24th. So.
Okay. Very good. Code enforcement, Matt Fischel.
Yes, thanks again to the village attorney's correction on the unsafe structures. I'll be providing a report to this board after consultation with courts regarding the 258 Aurora property. I would expect that within the next week or so. Thank you.
Okay, anything for Matt? Not? Art?
Just one thing, Mr. Mayor. This evening, the village board authorized you to sign this agreement with Russ Salvatore. The agreement can be signed in counterpart, and I sent out an email as to the logistics of it. Were you going to sign something tonight, or were you going to go to the clerk's office? How are you going to finalize the execution of this agreement?
Well, we'll go to the clerk's office. I don't know what Mike has. There was
All right, so tomorrow you're going to send?
Yeah.
Mike has been in the loop on this, so
Yeah.
he'll understand. And you're going to sign it tomorrow?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, we can do that.
just to make sure that we don't have any last minute hiccups.
All right, yeah. Oh,
Thank you,
absolutely.
that's all I have.
Okay, anything for Art? Under miscellaneous, just a couple things. I have been working with Brett Miller, who is the art department chairman at the high school, and he's had a few, the kids come down and they've been painting festive holiday pictures on some of the storefronts downtown. I don't think they're done yet. They got several on West Main Street, but it looked pretty good. And I stopped and saw the kids the other day, and they're putting heart and soul into it. They're doing a really nice job. I don't remember that being done anytime in recent years. It was done probably in the late 70s, early 80s. And it was really kind of nice. They did probably from, probably from Scoobs all the way up Central Avenue. West Main Street was kind of a ghost town then. But these kids are pretty talented, and they've done a nice job. And I just wanted to mention that. And also, I noticed that, I believe it was the state, but they did put up the EV charging signs on Broadway both ways that indicate that we have chargers down there. So I know we were waiting for that for a while. I just happened to notice that. Other than that, I have nothing else. And if there's no other business to come before the board, adjournment would be in order.
We adjourn in memory of Christopher Connell.
Yes, yes. On a motion by trustee O'Brien, second by trustee Miller, will please stand in memory of Christopher Connolly, who passed away recently. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you.